Good morning, it's Barbara back on my deck. Dennis made chili, so the jalapenos are all gone. But look at our stick. It's coming back after being totally trashed by that horned worm. It's coming back. Yay! The little potted snapdragons did not survive. That one's just dead. This one's over the side. This isn't looking good. I think it's gone. So I need to water and see if I can revive my flowers. But I'm home. Good morning. It's Barbara. Thank you for joining me for coffee. I'm practically in the shadow. It's hot. Oh, I forgot to do the gizmo. Well, I haven't done this in, normal in a while. Good morning. I'm home. The girls are home too. Dennis and I will take them to their parents' home this afternoon. As most of you have already figured out, we did not get to Williamsburg. And a part of me really regrets that because it was such an opportunity and we missed it. But another part of me is perfectly fine with it. So I have this fight within me, trying not to feel guilty. This is the anniversary week of when I was in Idaho last year. It was not a good week. But so while I was engaged while I was at the Great Wolf Lodge and wasn't feeling overtly sad, I was feeling very low energy, and thinking about taking the girls to Williamsburg felt a little bit like more than I necessarily wanted to do once I got there. However, I would have done it if they were like, oh yeah, come on, Nana, let's go. They were okay to go in the evenings, but in the mornings, they didn't want to get out of bed, and I was fine to let that happen. The girls had a great time at Great Wolf Lodge. If you have kids, well, Isabel is 12. I think one more year. In fact, we're planning on maybe going next year to the Poconos, which is way closer to us, with Dappy. And Dennis is Dappy. And I think they'll both really love that next year. Whether Isabel will be into it when she's 13, we'll see. But we're already planning our next grandparents' camp to be at the Great Wolf Lodge in the Poconos. Dennis has come up with a couple things. One is horseback riding. The other one is a coal mine museum that he wants to see. So right now, the plan is next year's Grandparents' Week will be at the Great Wolf Lodge in the Poconos. I had a good time. My problem was the food thing. The food is all kids' junk food. Not kids. I mean, they have burgers and fries. Everything is a combo package, so it's a little more money than you might want to spend since I don't want fries or a drink. But it's all fried chicken stuff or nacho-y stuff or burgers or pizza or a buffet that didn't work great for me. But the kids loved, because they loved the mac and cheese, but it's, $15 for a kid. They get mac and cheese and tater tots and a couple of little desserts and they're full. They don't eat tons. Well, Isabel eats okay. Which is fine, but I didn't. So for me, the food thing was a problem. But otherwise, it was great. The girls had a good time. Isabel gave me a big hug last night and said, this was a great week. It was super fun. So I am perfectly happy with that. And I'm a little sad that we didn't go to Williamsburg, but I'm going to stop beating myself up for that. And I ain't going back because it took 7.5 hours to get home yesterday. Going the way that was not I-95. Took 7.5 hours. We did hit a little bit. I mean, it took us so long, but we were at rush hour traffic in York, Pennsylvania, and so we were in a little stop and go there. But I don't know. I don't know if it would have been better on 95, but the way the traffic looked coming north when we were going south, I don't know. So we just won't go there anymore. But yesterday was grueling. But I must say, my granddaughters are amazing, wonderful, wonderful people. They get along really well. There was never a question of, you know, them not being together at the water park. They watched out for each other, and they don't argue, and they're, I don't know, they're just so easy to be with. And they're lovely and kind and smart, and it's fun. It's really fun to spend time with them, I've got to say. Well, on Wednesday, with a day, you know, the last day we could have really gone to Williamsburg, they hooked up with a bunch of girls, Isabel's age, and one sister, Sam's age, and they were like a little pack. They were doing the water stuff together, and they were, you know, they were in the regular pool trying to do cheer moves, like tossing people in the air and stuff. I got a picture of them tossing Sam. Had such a great time. Closed the water park at 8. Came, took a really quick shower, because there's a dance party in the lobby, Nana. Okay. Then they were at the arcade. They got in at about 10:30. And it's funny because the first day I was there, I couldn't keep track of where they were in the water park, and it was making me really nervous. By the time we left, I wasn't nervous at all. It's a very self-contained place. They are very responsible, and I didn't really have a worry that somebody was going to steal them, and that would be the only worry. You know, if they hurt them, well, it's designed for all kinds of kids, so, you know, hurting themselves is always a possibility, but, you know, nothing I was going to do was going to stop that. I would just have to be there. And Isabel had a phone, and when they were in the water park, she didn't have her phone. So I had to they had to keep coming, check in with me, find me, and tell me, here we are. Okay, good, goodbye. And, but when they were at the dance party and the arcade, she had her phone, so I could text her, and she responded immediately. So I felt good about that, and they had a fabulous, fabulous time. They really did. I did a lot of sitting around and stupid stuff on my phone, but that's what I needed at the time too. But our room was really, really far down the hall, so I got a lot of exercise. I wish I had one of those Fitbits, which I don't, because I would be really curious how many steps I had every day, because we did every back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and I did a lot of walking inside. But yeah, they had a great time. I regret Williamsburg, but and the extra driving, but they had a great time, and we're already planning to go back again next year, but we'll go to one closer. So that's the result of my week with the girls. Aura is doing okay. She's a little depressed. She's bored out of her mind. She's in the hospital still. She's been there for a week. But she had a procedure 2 weeks ago in the hospital, and somehow while she was in the hospital, she got this a blood infection, and they gave it to her, and now she's back again. It's like that's how they keep the money flowing, I guess. Anyway, but I don't know how long she's going to have this intravenous antibiotic, but she can't have that at Fieldstone where she lives. They don't do that. They're not a skilled nursing facility. So when she's discharged from the hospital, she's going to be discharged to a rehab hospital. So we're looking at, we got some suggestions, and they were rated. And, maybe I trust the ratings a little bit, because the place she was before that we hated, that we think was going to kill her if she were there for another 2 weeks, got a very, very low rating. And we're like, okay, well, they got 2 stars. 2 stars may have been too much. I would never have given them 2 stars. I would have given them 0 stars if it was possible. But anyway, so maybe the ratings are reliable. Who knows? I don't think we're going to have time to view these places before we pick one. So, well, actually, we picked 3 that were very highly rated, and the social worker is going to find a place for her. So she's going to be discharged to a rehab hospital till she's done with her course of antibiotics. She is not going to be happy about that. We need to figure out ways to cheer her up and entertain her. But she did stand up, walk a couple of steps yesterday, and sit in the chair in her room and got out of bed, so that was good. So she is on the mend, but slowly, and way more slowly than her mental health would like. So, got to be dragging, and we're bringing more logs. We'll start a new year when we go visit her. So, Dennis and I are with the girls today during the day. We got to go get the dogs. They've spent the whole time in camp. They love camp, and so Dennis thought it was just easier. And so they went to camp. Coming back today after they have their baths. We're doing laundry so that we repack the girls with clean clothes, because they leave on their family vacation tomorrow. They're going to Ocean City, Maryland, so they're very excited about that. And I thought, do my daughter-in-law a favor and send them with clean clothes. So we're doing laundry. I'm hoping that Sammy will do my nails today, because she got a nail art kit for her birthday, and I'm hoping she wants to practice on me. And we'll just hang out, and then Dennis and I will drive them back to their house, so Jason and Allison don't have to do all that driving when they're getting ready for their vacation. And then Dennis and I will stop and see her at the hospital, check in with her, try to cheer her up before bedtime. And that'll be the end of Grandparents' Week, which was super fun. They both had a great time. They had a wonderful, wonderful time. Sammy really loved the power of the bracelet. We got plastic bracelets that had some kind of RFID tag or whatever in it. And I got theirs coded to my credit card so they could shop by themselves on my credit card. And they did that once when they were at the arcade with their friends. They added money to their card so that they could play at the arcade. And that was fun. But Sammy loved that bracelet because it was a dorky. In fact, I liked it because you could just leave the room, and every once in a while I thought, oh, do I have my key? Yeah, I do. It's on my wrist, so the girls could get in and out themselves. And so I kind of like that. But then they track you everywhere you go, right? I wonder if they track you when you're not even scanning it. Like, could they look at some surveillance thing and realize that I never moved my car while the whole time I was there? We just stayed at their facility, which is, of course, what they want. But Sam loved that bracelet. She's not opening the door. But my girls are pretty great. And I had a really lovely week with them. And I wasn't really until the long ride home. Yesterday I was pretty tired, and I woke up this morning feeling lots of feels, which I am going to banish with a nice cup of coffee, which I'm having, and wait for the girls to come down because they do like a leisurely morning. Take after their grandmother. And then we'll hang out together, get the dogs, and then, yeah, probably leave here around 4 to try to beat the traffic, because going to their house in the afternoon is with rush hour traffic. Plus, it's a Friday, and they live between us and the Jersey Shore, so who knows if there's additional Friday afternoon traffic on a weekend in August, so we shall see. Meanwhile, I'm home. I enjoyed my time with the girls, and I'm sad Dennis didn't get to spend that time with them. But he has today, and we're already planning next year, so it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We have a birthday party. Their birthday party, their family birthday party is on in September, and Vicky's coming around that same time to visit with her mom, so we'll see what happens there. But meanwhile, I'm just going to take it easy today as best I can and give myself grace. Maybe at some point they'll go to Williamsburg and I won't feel guilty anymore. Or it'll be the story when they're grown up. No, we never went to Williamsburg. We were supposed to, but we were at the water park instead. And as my son pointed out, you know, you can make them go. If you just take them, they'll go. I'm like, you know, I know. It really was, I was not sorry they didn't want to go. And that makes me a terrible person, but it's the truth. It doesn't make me a terrible person, but you know what I mean. It was my fault we didn't go. It wasn't their fault. It wasn't their fault at all. But they had a wonderful time. And the day we were gone to Williamsburg was their favorite day, because that's when they got together with that gang of girls, and they were having so much fun. So much fun. And those girls were lovely. I mean, I knock on the door to find the girls and, you know, hung around for 1 minute. It's not like I got to know them or anything, but they were having fun, and that's all that counts. All right, that's it for me. I will have more to report tomorrow. I need a new place to sit to do my vlog since I cut down my tree, because it is warm in this sun, let me tell you. Well, and if my flowers aren't anything to write home about, then I do have places here I could sit in the shade. It just doesn't have my backdrop, which is no longer gorgeous. So I need to work on my flowers. Oh, the breeze feels good, though. I need to work on my flowers, and I need to chill. I need to go in and see what my granddaughters are up to. So I'm going to say goodbye. Please take good care of yourself. I don't know if there was anything I was supposed to talk to you about, but I'll report on how Aura's doing, because I will have actually seen her by the time I see you tomorrow. Please stay safe and stay sane.